Alright, for 21 Part B, I'm going to show you a different technique than I did in Part A. See if this works better for some people. You can still do it the same way as we did last time, but this is just another option. If you're better at remembering formulas rather than recognizing patterns, here's the formula that we talked about before. To find the sum, we're going to take the sum from n equals 1 to n. Now that n is going to be the number of subintervals. And so we're going to plug that in with a number substitute. So if we were doing this Part A, we'd put 12 there. For Part B, we'll end up putting 24. Inside the sum, we're taking delta x. That's the change in x, that's the base of our rectangle, times f of x sub k. So that's the height. All right, so this is the base, this is the height. So we had some formulas to go along with this. The delta x, all we do is take b minus a over n. And f of x sub k, well, we need to figure out what x sub k is. X sub k is going to be a plus delta x times k. So if you can remember these formulas, you can put them together to find this sum. So let's look at how we would put this together for this problem. So our sum is going to go from n equals 1 to 24. Now we need to figure out what delta x is. Well, delta x is b minus a over n. So our b here is 3, a is negative 3. So we're doing delta x is 3 minus negative 3 all over n is 24. So we get 6 over 24, which is 1/4. So our delta x is going to be 1/4. X sub k. For x sub k, we're taking a, which is negative 3, plus delta x, which is 1/4, times k. So actually, you know what? I'm going to go back and change this. Sorry. I'm going to make these x sub n. We used k for a different type of problem. So we're going to say x sub n. So we have 1/4, negative 3 plus 1/4 times n. Or we're more likely to write it as 1/4 n minus 3. So f of x sub n means we're going to take this and substitute it into our function. So we have 1/4 n minus 3 is getting substituted into this equation for x, so that's getting squared plus 1. So you can see we could have done this kind of similar with Part A. For Part A, our delta x would have been 1/2. A is still negative 3, so 1/2 n minus 3. That's what we got here to put in being squared, and our delta x was 1/2. So if you like this method better, feel free to use it. If the other one works for you, use that. Now we're going to go ahead and figure out this sum using our calculator. So I can actually just go ahead and hit second enter and go back and change the different values. So now we have 0.25, so I'm going to insert a 2 there. This is a 0.25, so I'm going to insert a 2. And then we are changing the 12 to a 24. And that should give us our answer, 24.0625.